Hey class, this is Katrina Berg, and this is your first additional resource video for week 1. I wanted to take some time to highlight some key points from your chapters that you're reading this week. It's chapters 1, 2, and 3. So let's get started. First and foremost, welcome to class. It's great to have you guys here with me, and when we talk about global marketing, we're doing this based on the assumption that you have a basic understanding of marketing in general. If you have any questions that you come across during reading the chapters or during the book, just let me know. As a quick recap, marketing really is about finding and creating that value and conveying that message to the consumer. So you have an idea, conception, product that you create, product or service, and then sell that to the consumer, and then follow up with the consumer as well, ensuring that they're happy with that product or service. So that's a very brief recap. Again, just have a basic understanding of marketing in general. When we're talking about global marketing, we're looking at, of course, instead of single country, we're looking at 2 countries, 3 countries, regions that a business may be working in or expanding into. When you also hear the word globalization and you're looking at global marketing, you need to consider the global context, but also the local context, because the local context matters. What you may be doing in one country, you will have to change, shift, edit in another country, or you may be able to do the same thing. You just simply need to have a clear understanding of what is the culture, what are the expectations, what are the politics, what are the legal ramifications that you need to meet with your product or service. Let me give you an example. When creating a product, let's say that Germany specializes in lenses. They have the technical knowledge, they have the expertise, they create the best products. So they create a product for a company that is putting together the actual product in China. So aside from the lens, the other components of the microscope, let's say, are being packaged and shipped out of China. And they're being shipped to the US for use in a lab in the US. So you already have several different components. You're looking at distribution channels, you're looking at different price points, you're looking at cost of shipping, cost of labor, you're looking at whose brand name is going on that final box that's shipped out to the US, and how is the product billed? Is it billed as a German product? Is it billed as a US product, or is it billed as a Chinese product? So those are some, it's a big example or broad example of just understanding how that global market could potentially work for a product or service. Let's move on to talking a little bit more about today. So a lot has changed in business over the past years, decades, basically from World War II, where we have today become global and interconnected through technology, through the ability to travel. Business operates 24/7 today, and companies can leverage that connection and connectivity. So what you do in one country, you could look at expanding into another to produce more product at a cheaper price. Again, research is required, strategy is required, but it's something that you can look at. When you do this, it's important to stay focused. The temptation might be when you move into another area, oh, they need this product, let's start creating this product or service for them. That might not be the best idea strategically for you. Let's go back to competitive advantage. What is your competitive advantage? Can you retain it? Should you retain it as you expand? Your book talks a little bit more about that. Do take a look at that global strategy section. And always consider risk and reward. Challenges impacting marketing, let me just sort of highlight those. You've got transportation issues, you've got communication issues, political, social, and then you also have expectations. For example, In Germany, they prefer coffee that's a little bit more dark, a little bit more bitter. Here in the US, I think overall it would be safe to say that we might prefer a Pike Place Starbucks, which is more of a mellow, softer coffee. So if you are trying to expand, you need to be aware of these differences. And again, consider how you would market those differences. Would you adapt or would you not? Finishing up, let's talk about two organizations, the World Trade Organization and GATT, which is the General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. GATT was originally created as a forum or as an organizational body to work through trade disagreements, to discuss trade disagreements amongst participating countries. The World Trade Organization came about as a result of GATT. They do much similar work today, where again they are mediating trade disputes, but they're also a foremost thinker and discussion holder about what's going on in trade in the world today, topics that need to be discussed. You will hear some people say that these organizations are ineffective. That may be the case or may not be the case, but they are an organizational body that is there to oversee and step in to trade disputes, to look at what's going on trade in the world. And there is a need for that, in my opinion. Thanks, class, for listening, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.